So let's start with, maybe ERP systems. So, the SAP S/4HANA, a popular ERP system, particularly for SAP users, obviously. This has continued to kind of stay high on net score, which would be our y-axis here. So general positive overall IT spending, and quite pervasive too. That's the x-axis here. So a lot of people indicate that they have it or have some opinion or spending intention about it. Any comments about kind of the ERP system landscape? And I noticed in your bio, I looked up, you've done some ERP transformation and transitions and so on and rollouts. So we're just curious to get your take on what the ERP technologies are all about these days, and maybe some pros and cons.
There's definitely a shift from on-prem to cloud-based. And
Sure.
I think as companies, specifically global companies that roll out ERP solutions, it's very costly.
Mm-hmm.
And when you finish, you think you're done, but you're not, because the next iteration comes, like an S4. And I think that's where the continued investment is being driven from.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the technology is a cost. The implementation and the solution integrators or system integrators that come along with it is where there's a heavy amount of spend that goes along with it as well, right? So it's not just license that you can negotiate or a platform you can negotiate, but you're spending on resources to help you execute. And some of those are technologists, some of those are business process optimization analysts. There's a lot of costs that go into it, but I think that shift from on-prem to cloud is where you start to see the maturation, where the cost continues to grow.
Yeah, great, well put. And then maybe some I guess workforce management software, the Workday HCMs, and Ultimate Kronos Group is in here somewhere. Kronos. These sort of tools come up quite a bit when we talk about various HR systems. ADP, payroll. Any comments on these? Or is your organization doing a similar thing? They're moving to maybe SaaS products for this, software as a service products, or some other options, or what does this look like?
Yeah, I've had exposure to quite a few of those technologies in my career. At a Kronos, all web-based by these days, right? So you're basically opening up, if you're doing something like managing time and attendance for warehouse workers, it's all based on time clocks and opening up firewalls and connectivity and so on. So and the model, depending on the model that you have with the organization, it could be a user license, it could be per user, right? And those specifically in the US, depending on if you do business, let's say in California, there's certain labor laws that you have to follow and the tools that have to be configured. And then that's where you start the incremental costs, because you're building business logic and rules that go along with it. So, in that area specifically, I think that it's not one size fits all. And I think that's where the cost can start to increase based on how you operate as an organization.